Hello and welcome to this COP26 roundtable on the clean power transition. I'm Nisha Pillay and I shall be your moderator for this meeting. We're gathered here today to discuss practical ways to accelerate the shift away from dirty fossil fuels, from coal and diesel and the like, and to speed up and to scale up the move towards clean power, resilient and renewable power systems. We're not going to meet our ambitious Paris Agreement goals if we don't learn to do things very differently. The whole international community coming together, acting collaboratively. Rich countries, poor countries, the private sector, civil society sitting around the same table and sharing ideas and skills, experience, expertise, and above all, funding. The UK is committed to hosting a truly inclusive and an ambitious COP26, leaving no one behind. And to that end, in the course of this year, there will be many opportunities for key constituencies to have a voice, to share their priorities and their concerns. Today's meeting, we have a very packed agenda, and I'm going to respectfully ask all our eminent speakers to stick to their allotted time, and forgive me in advance if I have to nip in and move the speaking platform on to the next speaker. Talking of speakers, I'm delighted to say that the COP26 President himself, Alok Sharma, is joining us now, and he'll be sitting in on our roundtable right from the start. There he is. Welcome, Mr. Sharma. He's going to be our active listener, if you like. So are we now ready to start? Our first speaker is the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who is a tireless champion of the need to walk away from coal, as you're going to discover. Secretary General, the floor is yours. Thank you, Secretary General. As we just heard from the Secretary General, almost 800 million people around the world still have no access to electricity. What can be done about that? Well, Damilola Ogunbiyi is the Secretary General's special representative for sustainable energy, and she's also the CEO of Sustainable Energy for All. Let's find out from her how we accelerate the transition away from fossil fuel while at the same time expanding access to electricity to so many people who don't have any. Damilola, what are your thoughts? Thank you, Damilola Ogunbiyi. Now, Dr. Fatih Birol is the Executive Director of the International Energy Agency, which tracks global energy markets both in the short term and also across many decades. So what are the IEA's forecasts for the trajectory of the transition? Dr. Birol, what can you share with us? Thank you so much, Dr. Birol. Let's get a private sector perspective now, shall we? Mary Quaney is the CEO of Mainstream Renewable Power. It develops utility-scale renewable power projects in emerging markets, and the private sector is going to have to play a key role if we're going to expand renewable power at the scale that we need to. Mary, what are your priorities? I think I should ask her, what kind of policy support are you looking for? Thank you so much, Mary Quaney. Now, none of this would be possible without the help of development finance institutions. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina is the president of the African Development Bank. It's facilitated numerous and scores of renewable energy projects across Africa. What are the challenges ahead? Dr. Akinwumi? Thank you, Dr. Akinwumi. And like the African Development Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has also facilitated a huge range of renewable energy projects, not just in Europe, but across the world, in Africa too. And it has also supported communities that are heavily dependent on coal to wean themselves away and develop the skills for clean energy futures in its Just Transition programs. So let's find out more now from the Director and Head of Energy for EMEA of the EBRD, Harry Boyd Carpenter. Mr. Boyd Carpenter. Thank you very much, Mr. Boyd Carpenter. Interesting to hear from very different points of view, the economist from the UN system and from the two development banks, that they see priorities along quite similar lines, really. The need for a massive amount of funding, the need to facilitate the private sector's entry into new markets, but also programs to help fund the move away from coal, because it's going to be extremely expensive, it's going to be time consuming, and there are people's lives on the line. Many jobs in coal industries are going to have to go. So that's a difficult nettle that is going to have to be grasped. So we're now going to move on and hear from a number of countries in Africa and in Europe, their perspective on what the transition is going to mean at a regional level, at a granular level. We're going to start with the perspective from Africa. Dr. Amani Abu Zaid is the African Union Commissioner for Energy and Infrastructure. Over to you, Commissioner Abu Zaid. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Morocco is one of the leaders in renewable energy in sub-Saharan Africa, but despite that, it's still very dependent on coal for much of its power generation. How to change that mix? Well, here is the Moroccan Minister for Energy, Mines and the Environment, Aziz Rabah. Minister Rabah. Thank you very much, Minister. I've got these all in the wrong order here. Like Morocco, Germany too is a leader in renewable energy, and like Morocco, it is also heavily dependent on fossil fuels, not so much coal, but lignite for its electricity generation. The move away from that is going to be costly and it's going to be time consuming, as I'm sure we will discover soon from the German Federal Environment Minister, Svenja Schulze. Minister Schulze. Thank you so much, Minister Schulze. Now, Ethiopia has a wealth of hydropower, but despite that, it has energy shortages. It has power shortages for many of its citizens and for its industry. How to expand the power envelope? That is the challenge for the Ethiopian Minister for Water, Irrigation and Energy, Seleshe Bekele. Minister Seleshe. Thank you so much, Minister. Over to Senegal now, where renewable power is still very much in its infancy, they're dependent on diesel power for much of their electricity generation. There are moves afoot to change that, and let's find out more now from Minister of Petroleum and Energy, Sophie Gladima. Minister Gladima. Thank you so much, Minister. Spain has a well-established renewable energy sector. How can it share its expertise and experience with other countries that are still to embark on the transition? Here is the Minister for the Ecological Transition in Spain, Teresa Ribera. Minister Ribera. Thank you so much, Minister Ribera. Nigeria has no shortage of natural resources, but despite that, millions suffer from a crippling lack of electricity, and the country as a whole is very dependent on diesel power for its electricity generation. That's going to change, and it is a priority of the government. Here is the Deputy Minister for Power, Godi Jede Agba. Minister. Thank you so much, Minister Agba. And indeed, thank you to all of you, ministers, for taking time out of your busy schedules, for joining us right now when we're still grappling with the COVID pandemic. We do appreciate it. We're going to move on now to give you the perspective from the COP26 presidency partners, the UK and Italy. And we're going to start with the UK Foreign Minister, Dominic Raab. So just, we're doing the whole of the top? Okay. Hello and welcome to this COP26 roundtable on the clean power transition. I'm Nisha Pillay and I shall be your moderator for this meeting. We're gathered here to discuss practical ways to accelerate the transition away from dirty fossil fuels like coal and diesel and speed up and scale up the shift to clean power, resilient and renewable power systems. Now, we're not going to meet our Paris Agreement goals, our very important goals, unless we learn to do things differently. The whole international community coming together and collaborating better. Rich countries and poor countries, the private sector, civil society, sitting around the same table, sharing their expertise and their experience, and above all, funding. The UK is committed to hosting a truly inclusive and ambitious COP26, leaving no one behind. And to that end, there will be many opportunities in the course of this year for key constituencies to have a voice, to share their priorities and their concerns. This meeting today, well, we have a packed agenda, I can assure you, and therefore I'm going to very politely ask our esteemed speakers to stick to their allotted time, please, and forgive me in advance if I have to nip in and move the speaker program, move the speaker platform along to the next speaker. I'm delighted to say that the COP26 President Alok Sharma is with us right from the beginning. There he is. Hello, Mr. Sharma. He's going to be our chief listener and he'll be giving us his conclusions at the end of this roundtable meeting. So are we ready to start? Our first speaker is the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who is a tireless champion of the need to walk away from coal, as you're about to hear. Secretary General, the floor is yours. Marvellous.
Comms going on about it. They're on mute.
And thank God for rehearsals. What can one say?
Okay. Start talking. it's just a car.
So you think the issues are with the UNTV?
I'm watching a flood come through here. I don't know. Not the time. There's a whole technical team out there trying to sort it out. Don't need me getting involved. Yeah, there's a bunch of people saying that something isn't working.
So yesterday, you did this with UNTV, right?
Yes.
Microphone. SG's microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4. SG's microphone. I'm hearing myself come back. I'm hearing it's a loop. It's looping myself back into the room. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is New York. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is New York. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is New York. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have just reading myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still trying to connect on the far side. I hear my own voice in the room. I heard the moderator before, but they were not hearing me on the far side. This is New York. 1, 2, 3. This is New York. 1, 2. Secretary General microphone. 1, 2. 1, 2. Lip sync. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lip sync. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lip sync. 1, 2, 3, 4. SG's microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. SG's microphone. Lip sync. 1, 2. 1, 2 for lip sync. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. SG's microphone testing. SG's microphone testing from New York. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Jason, any incoming audio from you in your booth there? 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Okay.
No.
Very
It was all
good.
signed off.
1, 2, 3.
So should we
Heard far side for a moment.
backdrop,
This is
remove
New
it,
York.
but we can't remove it from the stick.
This is New York. This is New York. The SG's microphone. 1, 2,
Can they do it
3.
in time?
This is New
They can
York.
remove it from this backdrop, but they can't remove it from the
Yeah, no, they
animations.
can't do it from the animations. I get that. Yeah.
This is the SG's
Okay, so who's that?
microphone.
Is that a Tony?
Steve can overlay a bit of another section of blue or something. over
SG's
the top of it.
microphone.
Quick
1,
fix.
2, 3.
Okay, then let's do
SG's
that.
microphone. SG's microphone. 1, 2, 3. SG's microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. SG's microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's some far side commentators. 1, 2, 3. Sounds like bridge operators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, sure.
4, 5,
on the
6.
stage.
2, 3.
Yeah. Could you just
1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Nations, 1, 2, 3. United Nations, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Hello, this is Nisha
Three.
Pillay. I'm the moderator of the COP26 dialogue. I think you wanted to hear some words for your level and your volume, and just to establish a sound connection. Is that all right, or would you like me to
You're
keep
being heard
talking?
in New York?
We can hear you. You'll be
York,
delighted
the
to know.
SG's microphone works very well here in New York. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Excellent.
5, 6.
Yes, we can hear you at long last, which is a great relief.
Sounds perfect in the control room and in the room for the SG will be sitting.
Excellent. Good to hear it.
Great. This is Santal from African Development Bank. How is the audio and video quality? Is it fine? Thank you.
Jason, do you think we're done over here?
Okay, understood. So I'll just assume you hear me and I continue on.